15 years, 5 votes short, 6 million signatures, one man who never gave up, and a president who never wanted it to happen. This is how Martin Luther King Jr. Day became a national holiday against all odds. April 8, 1968. 4 days after Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis, Michigan Congressman John Conyers walked onto the House floor and introduced a bill to honor King with a federal holiday. The response? Congressional conservatives said it was unheard of to celebrate a private citizen who'd never held public office. Others claimed the federal government couldn't afford another paid holiday. A few argued King wasn't worthy, citing alleged communist affiliations. The bill died. Conyers didn't. According to congressional records, he reintroduced that same legislation every single year for 15 years straight, 1968 through 1983. Every Congress, every session, relentless. But here's what makes Conyers extraordinary. He understood something about Dr. King that others missed. King wasn't just a minister from Atlanta. By age 27, he'd become the face of the Montgomery bus boycott after Rosa Parks' defiant stand. By 1963, historical documentation shows he delivered "I Have a Dream" to 250,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial, and millions more watching on television worldwide. In 1964, Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize for opposing racial inequality through nonviolent resistance. King held a Ph.D. from Boston University. He'd written 5 books, delivered over 2,500 speeches, traveled thousands of miles fighting injustice. Yet conservatives in Congress said he wasn't significant enough for a federal holiday. Those should be reserved, they argued, for the Washingtons and Lincolns. 1979, 11 years after that first bill. Coretta Scott King testified before Congress, urging passage of the holiday. The King Center gathered 300,000 petition signatures. President Jimmy Carter supported it. According to congressional voting records, the bill finally came to a House vote on November 13th. It passed 253 to 133, but fell 5 votes short of the 2/3 majority needed. 5 votes, after 11 years of fighting. Most people would have quit. Coretta Scott King didn't. Stevie Wonder didn't. He released "Happy Birthday" in 1980, a song celebrating King's birth that became a rallying cry. Wonder and the King Center opened a Washington lobbying office and collected 6 million signatures on petitions. August 1983. According to National Museum of African American History documentation, over 250,000 people gathered at the National Mall for the 20th anniversary of the March on Washington. Every speaker demanded that President Ronald Reagan sign the King holiday bill. 2 days later, on August 2nd, the House voted, 338 to 90. Overwhelming support. The bill moved to the Senate. That's when North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms tried to kill it. He filibustered. He submitted a 300-page document alleging King had communist ties. According to Senate records, New York Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan was so outraged, he threw the document on the Senate floor and literally stomped on it, calling it a packet of filth. 2 days of brutal debate. October 19th, 1983. The Senate voted 78 to 22. Veto proof. Reagan had no choice. At a press conference that same day, when asked if he agreed with Helms about King being a communist sympathizer, Reagan said, "We'll know in about 35 years, won't we?" referring to sealed FBI files. But here's the reality. Reagan opposed the holiday from the start. Time magazine documented that in 1982, he argued it would cost the government $18 million annually, and we could have an awful lot of holidays if we start down that road. He later wrote to New Hampshire Governor Meldrum Thompson, who also opposed it, explaining his support was based on an image, not reality. Translation: Reagan didn't believe King deserved it, but political pressure left him no choice. With a re-election campaign approaching and overwhelming public support, he reluctantly signed on November 2, 1983, surrounded by King's family in the Rose Garden. The first official Martin Luther King Jr. Day was celebrated January 20th, 1986, 18 years after Conyers first introduced the bill. 18 years of rejection, 5 vote defeats, communist accusations, cost concerns, and a president who thought it was about image, not reality. Yet it happened. Because John Conyers refused to quit. Because Coretta Scott King testified year after year. Because Stevie Wonder turned a birthday into a movement. Because 6 million Americans signed petitions saying a man who never held public office deserved the same honor as Washington and Lincoln. Dr. King said it best. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. 15 years proved that. If you didn't know, it took nearly 2 decades of fighting to get MLK Day recognized. Comment below. Share this with someone who thinks change happens easily. And if you believe persistence matters more than perfection, follow for more history that proves one person refusing to quit can change everything.